Guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today we're reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. We just walked right out of the theater, got the camera sitting right here at the table.
Probably gonna get busted thinking about pirating.
I hope not. No, not pirating, not with this. But anyway, if you don't know how to use this, just take your finger, run it across the screen. That'll move it around, or you can hold your device up, move it around, or actually push the bottom right corner. There's a little pair of glasses there if you've got a VR headset. Push that and watch this like you were really just sitting here. But my experience with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is it's just been a childhood thing. It's always been there. I'm 33 years old, so I kind of grew up with the cartoon. I grew up owning a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fanny pack that was full of the trading cards, the Teenage Mutant Ninja trading card that I had all the time, it seems like, as a young child. So I've evolved with that in my life, and in the live action movies, it's just a huge thing. What do you, what's your experience with it?
I mean, I watched the cartoons as a kid and played the video game. I remember the video game a lot, like where, you get the slices of pizza is like the,
Yeah.
That's
I remember, yeah.
Do you remember the video
game? Yeah. Did you do the cartoon? Did you watch the cartoon?
Yeah, I watched the cartoon.
The live act, the original
I don't really remember that.
Okay, so her point of view is going to be completely just from the average viewer, well, just an average viewer without like super duper love for the Turtles. You don't have like embedded love.
I mean, I knew the song.
Yeah, well, you mean Go Ninja or whatever from the second one? Figurative. Yeah, the first two is the best. The third one probably didn't miss much, so they went back in time. Anyway, so about the movie, my personal likes of the movie, period, is kind of like the brothers, the Turtles. I thought they captured that feeling of the Turtles completely, like how they're supposed to be with each other. Like what the first one was lacking, I thought that they really focused in on the brothers themselves. And Splinter was good in it. That's kind of what's the good stuff you liked about it?
Compared to the first one, I thought this one was more lighthearted and kept in tune more with like how lighthearted they are and stuff from the cartoons. I feel like the first one they made him kind of like real serious and almost like Leonardo seemed so angry, and so did Raphael in the first one. And this one, they just all seemed a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean, I like that the leash that Splinter gives them is kind of like super long. Like he trusts their decisions now, and he's just kind of there to guide Leonardo into sort of an adulthood, like a leader state. And he'll like feed him little tips and pointers here and there, but he's kind of just sitting back, letting them do their own thing, which is awesome. So that's the stuff I like. Now for the huge things that I didn't like, which is going to affect the score like crazy. For one, the storyline is just hard to feel like you're involved in.
I didn't really understand the thing at the end. Not to give spoilers away, but I don't really understand that. Well, I don't want you to explain it.
Well, no, I'm not going to explain it, but I didn't understand everything that happened. Like, how do they know all this stuff? Like, it moves so fast. I didn't really care too much about the story. I cared more about seeing the Turtles interact with each other than I did the storyline. And they leave the city, and we know that from the trailer, because it shows the tank with Bebop and Rocksteady. I love Bebop and Rocksteady as
they were
well.
Funny.
Yeah,
I remember them.
I thought they nailed that, the Turtles and Splinter. That part's fine. So the storyline, I didn't like. I felt zero attachment to it at all, like why things were happening. They had to overly explain every single thing that they'd done in it. And also, some other stuff that I didn't like was Casey Jones. I hated that entire storyline of Casey Jones, like how he comes out, what he does in the movie.
I mean, I don't know Casey Jones, so I guess
see the character.
From someone who doesn't know know it that well, I liked Casey Jones.
You're right, and I would totally agree. Like with that being a thing, if you didn't know it, but you know Casey Jones, it's kind of like that wasn't really Casey Jones.
Is that really how Bebop and Rocksteady became Bebop and Rocksteady?
Sure.
I don't remember. They were always...
Well, they were given like a mutagen too, just like the...
But like when you're introduced to them in the cartoon, were they already the Rhino and the...
No, they were characters.
Warthog, they were real people?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was just made up.
Number 2, the live action number 2, the one that had the turtle and then the wolf that grew up.
I just know
remember the original live action number 2, Secret of the Ooze with Vanilla Ice, Go Ninja Go Ninja Go? Anyway, there was
Sorry.
a discrepancy, a licensing discrepancy or something was going on with that they couldn't use Bebop and Rocksteady. That's why they just made this turtle and this wolf. That was supposed to be Bebop and Rocksteady. So anyway, I didn't like Casey Jones at all in this. I didn't like Shredder. He was like 5 foot.
But he was barely in it.
He was tiny.
Shredder's barely
He
in
didn't wear his mask hardly any. He wasn't like this figure in the background that commanded the foot. The Foot Clan was awesome this time too. It wasn't like this terrorist thing, but I didn't like Shredder at all. Krang, I liked Krang. I thought that captured Krang just fine. I didn't mind too much the ending because I didn't have an attachment to it.
But they left it open for more.
Well, I just mean like how Krang's involvement in the ending without spoiling anything. I didn't like because I wasn't involved with the story. Like they should have kept. They tried to. This is New York, you know. They were like wanted you to feel this attachment to the city, but I didn't feel that because they didn't create that attachment. They left the city for no reason and came back.
I don't know that they necessarily in this one were trying to make you feel an attachment to the city.
Well, they should have.
Well, I think this one they were trying to make you feel more like how the turtles can't decide if they want to like be who they are, or if they want to be someone else. Like I don't think this one was so much about New York pride as in like just be comfortable in your own skin.
Well, I totally agree that they mentioned that. They mentioned like a million other things.
Yeah, but
too.
I think that was kind of a theme throughout, though. It's kind of like being comfortable.
Yeah, well, who are you?
You are.
Yeah, being comfortable who you are. Yeah, I understand that completely, but I just didn't have an honest attachment to the story, and so you know, because of all those issues to me about the characters in that are very important characters that the writer should have just used a past template on, like they could have said, okay, Shredder's like this in a film.
This woman, these people in the photo booth are just watching.
It doesn't matter. But Shredder's like this in the film, and then Casey Jones is like this. Like they could have just taken stuff that already existed with them and written it in. It should have been easy. That part of it should have been easy. The hard part was like you feeling the attachment the turtles have with each other, in which they nailed. So because of all this mess that was going on in it, I give it a 6 out of 10 for me. And if you're a Super Turtles fan, I think you'll like the film because you like the moments with the turtles in it. But everything else is just like I could care less about. I didn't have that attachment to the storyline, and so that's why or some of the characters in it. Like I said, a 6 out of 10 for me. What you without having it, you didn't have an attachment to.
I don't think it's fair for me to give it a rating because I mean, like it's not
just as a movie, just a standalone film.
I mean, I wouldn't watch it again, but I mean, it was.
But would you recommend even coming to the theater to see it or just wait? Yeah, see.
But I begged you to wait anyway.
Oh, yeah, but if you have a love for the turtles, I think you should go see it at the theater just to see their interactions on a big screen. But other than that, like the storyline, everything else,
it was funnier than the first one though. It was more lighthearted,
this was
and it
way
paid
better than the first
definitely it paid more like. It reminded me more of what the little stuff I remember as a kid, like, you know, the bright neon colors and the garbage truck and all that stuff. Like, I remember that as a kid. In the first movie, I feel like it didn't do any justice to, like, what people probably remembered and wanted to, like, be nostalgic
you're totally
about.
Right.
Yeah, so, like, this one, if you're looking for that nostalgic feel, even as somebody who just barely remembers that stuff, you know, like, I mean, I remember the Turtles, but I don't remember, like, plot lines of the movie or the cartoons or anything like that. But if you're going for that nostalgic feel, I would say watch the second one. Don't bother with the first one.
I think the second one is the first one. It's like they remade itself.
I could see that.
Because this one...
Yeah, they just a couple plot points they refer back to the first one. Mainly with
I mean, like there's a couple minutes of things from the first one that you might want to retain, and that's like their existence, how they were created, and their relationship to April.
But you should already know that anyway if you ever knew the.
Well, if you're wanting to follow the new storyline, you would only need to know like a few minutes worth of the first one, but the second one's like a total remake.
Yeah, I can see that.
And but I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm done. So next week I'm going to make him go see Me Before You since he dragged me to a movie I didn't want to go see.
Okay, well, thanks for watching ISAIAHS Reviews. 6 out of 10 for me. What'd you give your rating?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, then. Thanks for watching. See you.